The Scourge of Thirst. 1944, the world is on fire. The liberation of Europe has begun, and the fate of Western civilization hangs in the balance. Thousands of men are charging onto the beaches of Normandy, facing steel, fire, and an unexpected, devastating enemy, thirst. As the Allied lines push deeper into France, the logistics of war struggle to keep up. But among the roaring engines of the Royal Air Force, a secret project was born. A modification so classified, so vital to the war effort, that history almost forgot it. It wasn't designed to drop fire. It was designed to drop hope. Enter the Spitfire Mk9, one of the most beautiful killing machines ever built. But some of these planes were destined for a higher calling. Under the wings of these fighters, technicians installed a modification known officially as Mod XXX. Its unofficial name? The Triple XD charge. To the untrained eye, it looked like a depth charge. But this wasn't filled with high explosives. This modification was the single most popular invention of the entire war. Because Mod XXX was a beer delivery system. The official excuse given to high command was that the advance was moving too fast for water trucks to keep up. They claimed the troops were at risk of dehydration. But the water they were sending? It came in barrels. It came with a head of foam. And it came from the finest breweries in London. There were two versions of this weapon. The first was simple. They filled the long-range fuel tanks with beer. But there was a problem. After 20 minutes of flying next to a hot engine, the beer tasted like aviation fuel and rubber. A tragedy of the highest order. So they innovated. They modified the wing racks to carry actual, classic wooden beer kegs. Picture it, the world's most advanced fighter jet, screaming across the English Channel, carrying barrels of ale like a medieval tavern with wings. And the pilots, they were artists. They knew that if they flew at just the right altitude, the freezing air of the upper atmosphere would chill the kegs to perfection. By the time they touched down in France, the beer was ice cold and ready for the tap. But this was a dangerous mission. Not because of the Luftwaffe, but because of the audience. Every time a Mod XXX Spitfire landed, a massive crowd of thirsty soldiers gathered by the runway. If a pilot made a rough landing and a keg burst, he didn't just lose cargo. He became the most hated man in the regiment. Eventually, the war on thirst met a tragic end. Not at the hands of the enemy, but at the hands of the British Customs and Excise Office. They discovered the breweries didn't have export licenses. The beer runs were shut down. But for a few glorious weeks in 1944, the Spitfire wasn't a bringer of death. It was the trulliest plane in the sky. It was the wings of the pub, delivering the most important fuel of all, morale.